Some weapons just need a little technique to make them really shine. Oh, I see the mushroom.
Yep.
Wait, can I hit that with the leveler?
That's a fogger. Yes. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Holy shit.
Look at me go! Yeah! And for no gun is that more true than the amendment. My name is Commissar Kai, and today I'm putting y'all through typing school so you can punch strongly worded letters into the flesh of our enemies until they reconsider their stance on fitting into our gas tank. Democracy's typewriter is a weapon I have always loved, but only recently have I figured out how to unlock its full potential. This DMR is arguably the best one in our arsenal, and I'm going to show you why. Most helldivers seem to think that DMR should only live on the bot front, but I'm here to tell y'all that the amendment should be the exception to that rule. It has a lot of qualities that make it much stronger than a first look will tell you. And if you master it, this weapon becomes a seriously strong pick against every faction, and only struggles against a couple of sub-factions, namely the Rupture Strain and the Bile Bugs. But against everything else, it is a powerful primary with a lot of versatility in how you can use it and fit it into your loadouts. So let's get into the stats. Right after you buy my merch, look at it, it's glorious, high quality t-shirts that improve your aura farming ability, a gorgeous playmat to serve as the foundation for your service as a helldiver, and a bunch of mugs, hoodies, and stickers to show your dedication to the cause of managed democracy. Grab something today so Swigs can finally realize his dreams.
All the way to the top, Mom. All the way to the top of Arasaka Tower.
With my Super Earth mandated shilling out of the way, let's get familiar with the home row of our typewriter. The amendment is a battle rifle from the Masters of Ceremonies Warbond. It does 200 damage per shot and has 50 durable damage with light penetrating rounds. I know some of you will immediately cringe upon hearing these forbidden words, but fear not, this rifle has some qualities that drastically improve its ability to do damage even to harder targets. God damn.
It's like super fast.
That's right, this weapon has a burst fire mode which doesn't require a tac stamp, meaning if you use it right, you can transcribe your enemy's deaths in great detail using your 480 words per minute typing speed. This transforms this otherwise mid-seeming DMR into a BAR that has more DPS than the frickin' Smallwart. 30-06 rounds fired faster than the Stroker is going to give you some pretty satisfying results. Gun nerds, you can argue about the size of the round in the comments, but the BAR comparison stands, damn it. Plus, even in burst fire mode, you can still fire the weapon semi-automatically, making your shots very accurate. I got him! There we go, perfect. But when tyranny invades your personal space, you can flip that switch and teach communism a smithing lesson. Each mag comes with 20 rounds, which is really frustrating considering the 3-round burst. But the rounds hit really hard and the weapon is very accurate, so I guess I can forgive this assault on my particular flavor of tism. The amendment also comes with a decent pool of spare ammo with 9 mags by default, or 11 if you bring siege ready. So it has enough ammo on its own and doesn't really need a supply pack to be effective. It has 50 ergonomics, putting it on the snappier side of slow, and it comes with a long list of scope options, which is pretty nice. It would have been nicer if it had an extended mag option, but since weapon customization is currently rotting in the dumpster of freedom, I guess we'll just have to live with this inconvenience until I can convince Arrowhead to feed us our soup. The amendment also comes with 20 stagger force, which is the same as something like the sensor. 20 stagger force might not sound like a lot, but it is enough to stagger most mid-sized enemies and prevent you from getting a non-consensual ear cleaning. No, I don't want to get Q-tip. Stop Q-tipping me.
Oh, I'm in so much danger.
Being able to stun an overseer or a cyborg in place is really powerful and an aspect of this weapon that should not be ignored. If you like the sensor, you will love this gun if you can live without being snaky. Those big rounds make a lot of noise after all. Finally, there's this pointy bit at the end of the weapon for poking holes in our enemy's terrible arguments for their continued existence. A bayonet might not sound like a real selling point outside of your local shovel enthusiast, but it fills a very special role in using our typewriter effectively. Yeah, Red, let's get him. Let's get to stabbing. After all, the enemy cannot push a button or strike with their talons if you disable their hands. Having a medium pin London hello at the end of your light pin typewriter of death is extremely useful, and you should make sure you're using it. If you can't seem to hit the broadside of a hive guard with your shots, you can also just stab them in the face, or pick off their limbs and watch them crawl in the dirt like the fascist worms that they are. Seriously though, a bayonet will never run out of ammo and is medium penetration. Using it effectively is part of the weapon, and if you neglect it, it will seem worse than it is. Now that I've introduced you to your new typewriter, let's get into how it performs against each faction and some of the nifty breakpoints that it has. We'll start with its worst faction and work our way up to its best. The amendment doesn't exactly struggle against the squids. It has some very good use cases and remains a solid and dependable primary, but it does have some things on this front that it just can't do. For instance, it has no capability to take down stingrays. Oh god, mama, why did you say this thing looks like a personal massager? Now I can't unsee it. The bayonet might be medium penetration, but I doubt even a trick-shotting master like wall bouncing is going to be stabbing stingrays out of the sky anytime soon. It also can't do much to harvesters besides stripping their shields, and it takes about a mag and a half to down a flesh mob, which isn't great. Our discount full auto mode means they will still die pretty quick, but it'll cost you a bunch of ammo to bring one down. It also has a very annoying breakpoint against the seagulls. Taking 2 rounds to bring one down isn't bad, but it would have been really nice if you could do it in one shot instead. But it's still a very effective weapon for protecting your life and property against the swarms of seagulls, since you can just mag dump parental love and validation into the swarm until they reconsider their stance on being scrap metal.
Mine.
I do have another word for these mayflies of tyranny, but if I spread it around, my mods will get mad at me.
What? Where did that one even come from? These stupid cooks just keep dying and throwing their little bodies at me as they explode.
That's the bad out of the way, so let's go over the good. Our typewriter of freedom is very good against voteless and overseers. 1 round of the chest will kill a voteless, and the bayonet on the end can be very useful for doing a Lewis Millet impression on the former voters. But the amendment's performance against overseers is where it really shines. It can take down your normal flavors of overseers with just 5 shots to the body or 3 to their right arm, because squids just can't live without their girlfriend from Canada. Placing these shots under pressure can be difficult though, so if you need an overseer dead in a hurry, 3 bursts to their chest will also reliably get the job done. For the flying variety of autocracy, the amendment is even better because they have less health. 2 shots to their jetpack will cause them to explode, and just 4 hits to the body is enough to toss them into the hot pot. Because overseers are extremely common enemies on 2 out of 3 sub-factions for the Illuminate, don't underestimate your typewriter's strength against this faction. It's also surprisingly good in a pinch against enemy forklifts. Forklift certification is a sacred right of the finest that humanity has to offer, but the squid's garbage nature is also reflected in the garbage quality of their machines. And because of their shoddy construction, you can easily shoot the arms off of their forklifts by aiming for their shoulders and upper arms. Each of these spots is vulnerable to light pin weapons and can be taken off with about half a mag. Once both the arms are off, the Veracibator dies of embarrassment. Gatekeepers, damn, the Illuminate really are just a bunch of Reddit gooners, huh? These names and weak spots are a little sus. Anyway, this enemy can be killed with the amendment, but doing so is difficult, so just don't rely on it for these types of enemies. If you must type one out of existence, aim for their, Jesus Christ, their bug hole. Going through the shield can work, but it's also a beefy shield and this is hard to do. Go for the bug hole instead. Finally, you can now, thankfully, also destroy enemy Tesla towers with about 5 to 6 rounds depending on the range. Thank sweet baby Liberty that Arrowhead changed this, because not being able to take out the material with my anti-material rifle was driving me crazy. Overall, the amendment is a solid choice against this faction, but it does have some definitive weaknesses that prevent it from being a top-tier choice against the Illuminate. It's still very fun to use though, especially for tapping out overseers. Moving on to the bugs, the amendment is shockingly really good against most of this faction. I know, I was surprised too. But that 200 damage, 480 fire rate, and bayonet all come together to make a beautifully transcribed sentence of freedom against the fascists. It can kill hunter-sized enemies or smaller with 1 shot or 1 stab, meaning it has a handle on all of your grains. And it can do what the Diligence really should be able to do, and 1-tap warrior heads at close range. This will cause them to go berserk, but if you play your ranges well and utilize your bayonet to stab away the fascism, it's a very effective answer compared to pretty much every other DMR. There are others like the Deadeye or the DCS that can do the same thing, but they don't have the ammo, ergonomics, or the bayonet of the Amendment, meaning our typewriter is uniquely suited as a DMR against the bugs. This isn't even mentioning the option to go discount full auto. The only real downside when it comes to dealing with the grains is the ammo capacity. 20 rounds will go real quick against a horde, so try and place your shots with care to mitigate the time you would spend reloading, and rely on full auto only when you have to, or to take an Alpha Commander's head off. Speaking of Alpha Commanders, the Amendment will give them an aggressive buzz cut with just about 5 or 6 shots. Their heads are durable and they have light armor, meaning it takes a few more shots than you might think. But in terms of time to kill, bursting an Alpha's head with a barrage of large bullets takes about a second. The dreaded and widely feared Hive Guard are now back to normal, meaning the Amendment is actually worse against them than when they had heavy armor. But even still, you can kill one from the front with just 2 bursts to their armpit or their fleshy backside. If you can't be bothered to aim or to flank them, you can always just stab them in the face, because these enemies remain tyranny's saddest clowns.
I have another target for your big tomato.
My what now?
Your big tomato, apparently.
Big tomato, okay. 160 meters, I got it, I think. Yeah, there we go!
Dead on. Look at you.
But having good aim certainly helps. Nursing Spears will get the Victoria Newman treatment with just 3 shots to their head or 2 to their mouth. Or, you can say it with me now, stab them in the face for an easy kill. Whereas the beefier Bile Spears will get their minds blown with just 2 shots to their mouth, since their head isn't a viable target with that medium armor. Honestly, I'd just pack a grenade pistol and bring a stratagem like the Orbital Gatling Barrage against these enemies, since the Amendment does struggle to kill large numbers of Bile Spears. Democracy's typewriter is surprisingly good against the Terminids Blues, and it absolutely wipes out all of their grains, but it does struggle real hard against their reds. For the big enemies... Oh, Tana! Big enemy!
Big one!
He's a big one! You're much better off bringing a support weapon to handle them, since all of their light pin weak points are either very durable or very hard to hit. Bring EATs or the Leveler and the pistol for dealing with these harder targets if you haven't captured an EPOG Pokemon yet. There he is, get him!
I did not know how I've never
Epoch!
EPOG! The Amendment does great into all the normal bug seeds, including Hive Guard seeds, weirdly enough. Gas and full auto typing really does a number on them. But it'll struggle against the Rupture strain, and using it against the Predator strain requires a lot more skill than is probably worth it. But don't let that dissuade you from at least trying it against the bugs. It's way better than most of y'all give it credit for, especially if you master the full auto mode and use your bayonet. It sits right up there with the small work for me. But the Amendment's best matchup is of course against the bots. Helldivers, best designed punching bags of freedom, have easily accessible light pin weak points, and their nature as a ranged faction means they won't be rushing up on you as much as the squids or the bugs. So you will have time to place those large caliber rounds with care. By now, most of y'all should know that the R63 Diligence is great against the bots. So it makes sense that a weapon which is just as accurate, does 35 more damage per round, and has a Temu brand full auto mode is even better against them. That beefy 200 damage hits some really important breakpoints, so let's get into them. Little bots will all fall over in one body shot, unsurprisingly, and you can, of course,
say the line, Bart!
Stab them in the face. Berserkers will fold like a light pin hater upon hearing
skill issue.
Do just 2 shots to their stomach. And since we can send out 8 rounds a second with this beautiful weapon, we can mow through their ranks like I mowed through the free bakery on my honeymoon. Or you can just put them out of their misery with 1 shot to the face. So all the bots' greens die in 1 to 2 hits, which is undeniably very good. Their blues are made of a little sterner stuff with their medium armor, but they are just as vulnerable to 1 to 2 shots from the Amendment as their grains. 1 shot to the face will take down a Devastator at pretty much any range. You can fold them in half with 2 freaking rounds to their belly, remove their arms with 2 shots, which effectively takes them out of the fight, or fire 4 rounds into their legs to make them topple over into the middle refinery. Basically, as long as you do not shoot Devastators in their obviously armored chests, they will die without using up much of your ammo. Amending Devastator's tenuous grasp on what they call life is extremely satisfying. So much so that the Amendment is permanently going into my bot front weapon rotation. Rocket Striders pop with 1 round of their missiles and and taking them out with leg shots isn't as painful as you'd think, meaning this tool of liberty excels at killing anything not wearing heavy armor. For those heavily armored foes, you're a little out of luck. Hulks will die very quickly if you can shoot them in the vents, since it only takes half a mag and full auto can deliver that half a mag very quickly, but this will require you to either abuse their position as they go for your team, bring stun or gas grenades, or you can use the re-educator to confuse them long enough to sneak in your shots from behind. But I won't pretend this is a reliable answer, it's more of a playstyle choice. Instead, just bring the amendment on bots when you feel like rocking an answer for their heavies in your stratagems. So you know, every freaking match. For the bot sub-factions, the amendment only really gets better. Against the Incineration Core, it gives you the range to not get turned into chunky soup from enemy cookouts, and against the Cyborgs, it's just hilariously effective. Radicals have the easiest Mozambique in the game to set up. Just shoot them once in the chest to stagger them and finish them off with a headshot. Or just full auto their asses if you can't be bothered. Agitators take a few more shots, but the same method still works. Take off their armor to stagger them, then pop them twice in the face. Or just full auto them. You probably noticed the theme by now. You can even stagger these assholes with your bayonet so you can line up that kill shot if they get close and try to hit you with the cyber tie. The only real weakness against the bots that the amendment has is against gunships. You just can't damage them with this primary. So just lean on your support weapon or bring a sidearm like the Loyalist, the Senator, the Pistol, or the Talon and you'll be just fine. It's really not that big of a deal. And there you have it. That's how the amendment performs against every faction and every sub-faction that I could be bothered to list. So now let's briefly touch on some of the synergies that highlight our typewriter of freedom even further. As you could probably tell from the previous section, the amendment pairs really well with anti-tank options like the Recoilless, Spear, Quasar, and all the expendable options. But my favorite support weapon combo across all the fronts is pairing the amendment with the autocannon, especially now that it has a faster reload. If you're dealing with a swarm that your 20-round mags can't easily handle, you can whip out Old Reliable in flak mode to decimate the enemy and soften the survivors up enough to be stricken from the record of history. The autocannon will also fill your bug hole, fabricator, and clam mating needs, in addition to being a pretty freaking decent answer against any reds that come your way. That massive stagger force on the autocannon, its heavy penetration, and demolition force make it a perfect pairing for Democracy's typewriter, especially since, like the amendment, it can also go full auto. But if you don't like the autocannon because you're a communist sympathizer and you're tired of running dedicated anti-tank support weapons, tools like the Epoch, AMR, Railgun, and belt-fed grenade launcher all work pretty damn well. Hell, looking back on it, the amendment pairs incredibly well with the vast majority of our support weapons, meaning it has a lot of versatility in the loadout selection screen. The amendment also really benefits from siege-ready and reinforced epaulets, but neither armor passive is required to use it effectively, unlike some of our other guns. It has enough ammo to stand on its own, but both these armor passives do make it a little better. And there you have it, everything you need to know to start having fun with Democracy's best DMR. Yeah, I said it. Stop sleeping on this beauty of a weapon and start having fun again, damn it. But until next time, this is Commissar Kai signing out.
Somebody just put a 500 kg on my exact position.
That's probably Tanah.
Whoop!
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I knew it. I knew it because Tanah doesn't check where her 500s go. She just sends them. Don't think I haven't watched your streams, Tanah. I know how you play.
Damn, I had no idea she was such a kindred spirit.